Darren, you said afterwards that the team had plenty to work on here in Brighton. Do you think the team has come, improved in the areas that you wanted to?
Oh yeah, we've obviously made more runs, that's the start, and batted some time, so that was good. Everyone got what we expected out of the game. I would like a few more hundreds, to be fair. We had a lot of starts, but look, all in all, I thought they batted really well. It's a nice wicket here, had more bounce than we'll probably get at Old Trafford next week, I would think. So, yeah, it was a good performance. Would have been nice to bowl them out a bit cheaper than, obviously we didn't bowl them out, but bowl them out for around 300 on a good wicket. But yeah, good 3 days for us.
Any selection conclusions out of the game, Darren?
Yeah, there's always selection conclusions, isn't there? From my point of view, look, we've just got to get and have a look at the wicket, whether we play 2 spinners or we don't, to be perfectly honest. They've drafted in Monty, so I presume it's going to spin, but we need to look at the track. We'll get to Old Trafford tomorrow and have a look and see what comes up.
What have you made of, I mean, you didn't see Lyon in India, but what have you made of his progression, I guess, over the tour and the few weeks that you've now been involved with him?
Yeah, he's an outstanding bloke for a start, which is a pleasing thing. And he's handled himself really well considering the tough circumstances he found himself in. So that's a pleasing point from my point of view. I thought he bowled really well today. Yesterday he got taken to by young Hamilton Brown, who I thought played really well. He hit some good balls for boundaries, so I don't mind that spinners getting hit for boundaries off good balls. So I thought they improved. I thought Ash bowled okay. He could have bowled better, and Nath could have bowled better at stages as well. So, that's the case on a good wicket. It doesn't turn too much. That sometimes happens to spinners.
I mean, are you confident from that if he went up next or this week that he's ready and able to have an impact?
Oh yeah. Whoever we pick is ready and able to have an impact, and we need to have an impact, don't we? We've done enough talking. Full stop. We need to make some runs. We've got an attack, and we can formulate an attack to get 20 wickets. We're confident with that. It's a case of making some runs.
Is Ashton is a 19-year-old. He's played 4 in a row now. Is he handling it all as well as he would have liked?
For a 19-year-old, yeah, I think he's been outstanding. He's a good young man. We'd love him to get more wickets, but that hasn't been the case yet. It might be next week. So for him, he's done really well. I've really enjoyed his company, and he's a good young man. He works hard in his game, as do all the players. They've been fantastic with that.
So should we stop thinking of Michael Clarke as a spinner these days? Is his back just reached a stage where he can't bowl again?
No. If he's fully fit, I expect him to bowl. He bowled this morning actually out on the ground, so he's starting to feel better with his back, which is a good sign for us.
Because the first 2 tests had wickets that it probably would have suited him, but he didn't bowl.
Yeah, that's a fair call. Having said that, Smith did all right, and Agar was our premium spinner, bowls the same as Michael Clarke, so I would think he would have given Ashton the first opportunity, which is fair enough as well. So, but moving forward, as long as his back doesn't give him any dramas, I expect him to bowl.
Okay. Can you afford to persist with Ashton? I know he's an exciting young kid, but he's got no wickets at Lords when England spinner's got 11, and Smithy bowling his part-timer's got 4. It just looks like the kid's out of his depth and in conditions that should help him.
Yeah, that's a fair question. We'll just pick the best side. If he's in it, then he's in the best side, and we expect him to get wickets.
He hasn't got any.
No, that's a good question again. I think, would we have this discussion if he ended up with 3 or 4 knots? Maybe not. But that wasn't meant to be. Things go your way and some things don't. So I was impressed the way he bowled at knots. I thought he bowled quite well. He had a problem with his hip in the second test match and struggled through that. But he knows he didn't bowl well enough, not the standard we're after. So he needs to get it right pretty quickly, we know that.
Because the spinners only took 1 wicket each out here against, I suppose you'd say, moderate opposition. I mean, you would have expected more than that, would you?
Oh, you would like more wickets, yeah. I think I said that before, where I would have hoped to bowl him out under 300. So that was probably the only thing. But having said that, it didn't spin too much. Monty got a couple of wickets, but didn't get any today. He didn't get one today, did he? No. So it's not a great track for spin. Where Old Trafford, I think, will spin. But yeah, we need him to perform. Does that answer your question?
Sorry, who's working with him? I mean, I gather you don't have a specialist spin coach in the squad.
No, we obviously call on Warney a bit. Steve Rickson's our spin coach and fielding coach, so he does that. But working with him, how to get blokes out is pretty much our domain. My domain as head coach. I know how you're going to get all the England players out. That's an easy one. You just got to execute our plans for it. And I think we've done that pretty well over a period of time. Ashton probably not so much last Test match, as Malcolm said before, but I'm really confident with our plans.
I mean, you said in the past you don't like to tinker with techniques. You want blokes that get to this level of pretty much have got what is needed to perform. But I mean, he's a young player. He's hardly bowled. Is he technically capable at the moment of having an impact at this level?
Yeah, otherwise we wouldn't pick him. We'd be mad if we didn't think he was technically up to it.
Or can he get better? I guess.
Well, he's
that's the
19. I
extension.
would hope he's got plenty of room for improvement. Same as Nathan. They're both young kids. Well, Nathan's played a lot more than. He's not a young kid, but they've both got improvement.
So is he? I mean, is he working with Rickson? Obviously, Rickson's not here, but is he working with him to get better on in this tour?
And then obviously we're mad not to use someone like Shane Warne and talk, spin bowling with him as well. Not so much technical with him, it's more about the mental side and the fields you want for certain players, and we use everyone. We don't want too many views, obviously. We want to keep it really channeled for a young kid because he's only 19, but he goes well.
You mentioned wanting more hundreds out of the batsman. David Warner's 193 in South Africa. Does that make him almost impossible not to play?
No, he's not a certainty, no. He got 193 and played well and did exactly what we want him to do. We want blokes to make hundreds and he's ticked that box, so that's a good thing. Again, we'll have to look at the wicket and see what we come up with in the top 6.
He sort of said that if he comes back, he'll bat 6. Is that what you're thinking? Is what you're thinking?
Oh, he could bat anywhere from 1 to 6.
He'll use those.
Missed some crucial chances, Lords.
Yep.
Probably dropped, half a dozen out there during the course of it?
I reckon it was three. Three, they dropped 2. Out here,
Yeah.
we caught poorly.
Half a dozen chances?
Yeah, we were poor. So I would hence to say we'll have some fielding training coming up the next couple of days. We can't afford to do that. We need to get 20 wickets, we only need 20 chances. At the moment we're having to get 25 chances to get the 20 wickets. So that's an area we have to improve.
Watson and Rogers obviously didn't come down here. You talked about the need for runs. Can you explain what the benefit that they had in staying in London and netting, I suppose, and doing that?
Oh, they're doing some work, technical work, both of them, and that's fine. We've had a pretty hectic schedule in the 2 tour games and 2 test matches. From my point of view, they've been fine. Our starts have been, okay, to be fair. What we need is both of them to go out and get big hundreds in a test match arena. So they played tour games and got runs, so that's not an issue for me. I really wanted the younger guys to have a go in this game, to be perfectly honest, to give them a chance to play. Having been in the scenario where I was on tour and never played a game, on the great side, the Australian side, I'd be on tour and play 1 tour game. It was the thing you look forward to more than anything, to get through the whole tour. So I think it was really important that we didn't play our guys that are playing and let the younger guys play, to be perfectly honest. They worked with, Steve Ricks and Diva were there, so they were doing, and Peter Siddle, so they were working there. That was no issues, and get them right to go for Manchester.
How much easier would it be just to have the whole squad together rather than split?
Well, I'd say it'd be harder. Have you seen the rooms up there? No. Well, it's pretty small for 18 people, so it's a lot easier this way.
And that was the reason, but because the size of the rooms that it was.
No, it's sheer logistics. It actually makes sense to actually do what we've done, and it's no problems. They're not going to play, so they may as well train at Lords and get that right and do what they need to do there. And then they're at Manchester now. They train today in Manchester. So with their bodies, we sent the other guys up to Manchester today, so they've gone there early.
How much of it was about just sort of mentally allowing them to sort of freshen up, get away after 2 testing games?
I reckon that's important as well, to be perfectly honest. From my point of view, having seen the other side as well, get away and they've had 4 games in 4 weeks and just freshen up quickly and let's get back into it. We obviously got to regroup really quickly as a team and play better in this test match. We know that.
Bird and Stark seem the obvious replacements for Pattinson if you go that way.
Yeah.
How do you assess their performances here?
Both pretty good, pretty solid, I thought. Had some pace and bounce and they swung it around. I would like to get more wickets like the spinners, as Malcolm said before. But they did the job.
Given all the half centuries you've had, Does a 66 and an 84 from Ed and Phil work to their advantage or work against them almost?
Oh, a bit of both, I'd say. I would like them both to make big hundreds, to be perfectly honest. When you get in that scenario, you should be making big hundreds. They know that, we spoke about it. So, but they played well and got through some tough times.
I suppose it's, when you get bowled out, when you bat the way that you did at Lords, there's sort of two sides to looking at it. Making a change or showing confidence in the guys to come out of it, is that going to be a difficult thing to weigh up? What's the best solution to that?
Oh, it's always difficult selecting sides. What you've got to do is actually pick the side you think can win the Test match, and that's what we have to do. And that's the way we'll go. The Ashes are alive, and we need to make them alive again for another Test match. That's what we have to do.